Hey, my name's Natalie and I am at home. I think I'm day 16 and I've got my daughter who's 9 years old with me and my housemate. She's over there. Hi Bridget.
Hi.
She's cooking mushrooms and eggs on toast, which has become kind of like our daily thing right now. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually cooking the same thing over and over and over again. It's like the safety thing.
Always breakfast.
It's always breakfast. We're eating like 3 breakfasts a day. It's an interesting time. I mean, even before the coronavirus hit, I was at home a lot. I have gone through some pretty interesting health problems of recent. In the last 2 years, I was diagnosed with 2 types of cancer, bowel cancer and breast cancer. And so chemotherapy and mastectomy and bowel resection, lots of different surgeries and massive dedications to health and lots of contemplation of what it means to, be contemplating mortality. And I've been reading a book actually whilst I've been in self-isolation called A Year to Live by Steve Levine. And his whole idea, as is mine, is that we contemplate and we practice this idea of death as a way to be in life, to be further in life. So it's certainly been my practice recently. And for me, I guess one of my coping mechanisms is I do retreat to the house, to my home. And sometimes I do too much of that. And I sort of retreat from being social and being in the community. And so to be doing it in a self-imposed way where it's actually intentional rather than just a coping mechanism for something else I'm experiencing with my health is it feels different. In one way it feels like, oh, I'm allowed to be self-isolating. I'm not dysfunctional socially. Everyone is doing it. It's all the rage. So look, there is a bit of fear as well about what's going on in the world and this constant prayer that I have for people out there who don't have a home to be in, or where a home is not a safe place to be. So I guess one of the things that I'm doing at the moment is hanging out with my girl, and we just invented this thing which we're going to call, what's it called? Folk tramp. Folk dancing on a trampoline.
No.
Do you reckon that's a good name?
No.
We're going to give you a little example of folk tramp in a second. We so are. We've also been homeschooling. I'll just show you quickly. One of the main ways that I have actually been able to cope with having a child at home is to have this on the fridge. So the time of the day, all the way through to bedtime, and activities that we're going to do in between, which are broad and loose, but also structured. Oh my God, it's great. So she knows what's going to happen at every moment of the day, and so do I. And so I don't have to go crazy and pull out my hair. So, we might post you a little post in a second about folk tramp. All right. Yeah. Okay. So this is our folk trampoline dancing routine that we just made up. Okay, ready? We've got beats. We have to count. Are we going to count it up? Okay, ready, set, go. Jump in. Yeah. Come on. Oh my God. Yes. That was our routine. Okay, so I managed to get my daughter to folk tramp it up with me, which is all definitely a part of self-isolation. We have to find ways to embarrass our kids, right?
Oh my God.
So yeah, I guess this is kind of what we're doing. And if you can see here, I've got a thriving veggie patch going on. You got cucumbers in there, and spring onions and beetroot, and it's going really well. So thing is, I don't actually want to have to step out and go to the supermarket very often because it's a bit of a risk. So what's great about having this garden is anytime I need fresh greens, I just come out and pick them, which is fantastic. So really all I need in my pantry is lots of rice and quinoa and things to add to my fresh vegetables. And I guess that's one of the perks of being serious about having cancer is that I was already set up for this, man. It's no laughing matter, I know, but it's true. Yeah, this really taking care and going slow and figuring out what it means to live and have fun and be present with your family. This has been a road that I've been on for a while. It's just this whole coronavirus has taken it to another level. And so for all of you people out there who are also immune compromised, I think the best thing we can do is really use this time, and even those who aren't immune compromised, use this time to really listen to what your body's trying to tell you and what each moment is trying to tell you, and be really curious as to what comes up. It's not always good fun either. You know, the stuff that can come up is pretty hard to face and accept about ourselves, especially the day-to-day in the place that we create, which is our house. It's the best place for things to arise. So keep feeling and keep talking, because that's the way we all heal, whether we have coronavirus or not. There's so many different levels of healing that's going on the planet right now through what's happening. Anyway, thanks for being a part of my little world of folk tramp and veggie garden and single parenting. And so wish you the most awesome and present time that you can possibly have whilst we're indoors in our homes and with each other.